Hey, so, we did pancakes a few weeks ago, and then last time we did some banana bread. So I was trying to think what would be a healthier option for today. Unfortunately, I'm all by my lonesome this time. But I did notice I've got a bunch of strawberries here. So I was thinking strawberry shortcake would be amazing. The problem with strawberry shortcake is it's pretty involved. You got to make the shortcake or biscuits or something like that. You've got to macerate the strawberries. You got to whip some whipped cream. There's a lot of parts to that, and I might do that in the future, but I was thinking maybe a little simpler and a little more healthy today. So let's see what we got. All right, I'm back. So I was thinking what would be a fun treat that most people really enjoy, that could actually be kind of good for you too. I was thinking some fruit leather. Now, this is really simple to do. Anybody can do it, but it does take a bit of time. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But first, we're going to get the oven preheating. All right, so we're going to come over here, and we are going to preheat our oven to really low temperature. We're going to go somewhere, probably going to do about 175. I feel like my oven runs a little on the cooler side. So if your oven runs a little hot, you can go a little lower down to say 150. Or if it runs really, really, really cool, maybe even up to 200. But around 175-ish, somewhere in that 150 to 200, but around 175 range is pretty solid. So now to the strawberries. All right, so first things first, we have to take our strawberries. They should be rinsed really good and dried. So once they're rinsed and dried, we have to cut them in half and we have to hull them. And what it means to hull them is you're going to take the center part here. We want to just pull these leaves off. You're going to pull the leaves off just like that. And then this center part, we don't want this. This is really tough where the stem, where it was attached, was growing. So we don't want that in our fruit leather. That's going to be really tough. So there's a couple ways to get rid of this. One way is using a knife, paring knife ideally. You can come around and you can kind of just cut that out. And there is our hulled strawberry. You can see we got rid of that, and here's the little piece here that we took out of the milk, because we don't want that. That's garbage. Another way to do it, the way I would prefer to do it, if you have it available, super quick and easy, is one of these guys. This is a piping bag tip. What you would normally use this for is you would stick it in a plastic bag. You would fill you cut a little hole in the end of your plastic bag, stick this through, and then you'd fill the plastic bag with whatever you wanted to pipe out. And then you just squeeze the plastic bag and it would make this fun little shape here as it pipes it out. But it also works, again, if we take our leaves off here, it also works really well if you just kind of go right over the center. You kind of twist a little bit, go halfway in, and you kind of pull, and here we go. Here's that little piece again, and there is our hulled strawberry. So that's going to be a real time saver. All right, I'm all the way down to the end here. I'm on the second to last strawberry. You can see it takes a little bit of patience, but it's so much easier than trying to use a paring knife. Now, I've heard that there's another way to do this, and it's with a drinking straw. Now, I've got a plastic drinking straw from like a water bottle here, so I'm just going to try that. Never tried that before. So let's just see if we can put this right over the middle. We can kind of twist. It's a little, doesn't go in as easily. And then pop, and there you go. Boom, perfect. So if you have a drinking straw from, like, say, a water bottle, you can go ahead and use that also. That's the perfect size to pull it out. Exactly what you want. Next up, we're going to cut all our strawberries in half. So we're going to put it on the top of the strawberry, because that's the easiest. We make a bridge over the strawberry. And then I'm using just a regular old butter knife because it's not sharp at all. So we're not getting crazy. Just right down the middle. And now we've got 2 halves of a strawberry. We're going to go ahead and do that to all our strawberries. As you can see, we've got a ton of strawberries that have all been hulled and cut in half. So now, we're almost done actually. This is super easy. Next, we have to pull up the blender.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to blend up all these strawberries. We're going to make a nice strawberry smoothie basically out of them. Except the whole plus with this is there's no added sugar, there's no nothing else. This is just fruit. So this is going to be much better for you than anything you buy in the store. It's going to taste really good too. If the berries are out of season, like these are slightly out of season, you can also add a little bit of honey if you want a little bit of natural sweetness added to that too. So just a tiny bit of honey will also help. So we're just gonna get blended here. All right, so as you can see, it's blending the bottom, but the top isn't getting down there. That happens sometimes if there isn't enough liquid in there to circulate the blender. So I'm actually gonna add a little bit of water to this. That will help it circulate, but the problem is that's gonna add a little bit of time on the back end to our time in the oven. So I just added a little splash of water. I can add a little more if this wasn't. As you can see, it's starting to mix it up. And now that we've got this nice mixture here, we're rocking and rolling. So just a splash of water there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start it up. It's going to get really loud here for a second, so I'm going to turn the volume. We're going to take off this little top once it's going. And then we're going to add in strawberries at one at a time here. Notice how after I drop it in, I cover it back up with this cap here, just in case there's any splash. I don't want it all over me. Alrighty. So we've got our liquid strawberry now. And that's just about all there is to it. I did say I was going to add a little bit of honey, so I am going to add a little bit of honey. So to about the 2 pounds of strawberries, I would probably add about a tablespoon of honey to that too. So again, once that's mixed in, then you can stop and you are all set. We need the sheet pan. We're going to need it lined with parchment paper. Now you cannot use wax paper or a substitute for the parchment. I guess if you have silicone mat, you could use the silicone mat, but you really want parchment paper on a 9x13 half baking sheet here. So what you're going to do is you are just going to pour your mixture right out onto the baking sheet.
Now we're just gonna slide it around. We wanna make sure we get all the way into the corners and that it's nice and smooth. Right, we want nice, even fruit leather. Right, we're gonna give it a little shake here, a little shimmy. If you've ever had to knock air bubbles out of anything, you know, you always want to give it a quick little shake. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay if it's not all the way to every corner, but it should be a relatively thin, even layer. All right, now that's it. Over to the oven. Now bring this right over to our oven that's preheated at 175 degrees. We're just going to slide it in the middle rack, and we are going to leave it alone. Now, what's going to happen over the next? Way down here. What's going to happen over the next 6 hours? I know it's a long time, but it's worth it. What's going to happen over the next 6 hours is all the moisture in that strawberry mixture, which is just strawberry and a tiny bit of honey right now. It's all going to just slowly evaporate out of that and dry out until you get that fruit leather consistency that you're used to. So we'll be back in 6 hours to check that out. All right, so it's been quite a while. So let's pull this out and see what we got. Lobster claws here. Wow, it smells like strawberry, I'll tell you that. Ooh boy, strawberry. That's what we've got. Look at that. Alright, so, now, the next part of this, which is going to also take a long time, is letting this cool. Now, you want to let this cool for at least a few hours. I would recommend letting it cool for at least like 3 or 4 hours to make sure that it's able to set up at the consistency that you want it. So let it cool for, like I said, 3 to 4 hours at room temperature, just out on the counter on a cooling rack. So we've got our cooling rack here. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take our smoothie fruit leather. We're gonna plop it right on top here. And we are going to let that cool for 3 to 4 hours, so just walk away. All right, so we're back. This is cooled, so we can remove everything here. We can just take this right out. And here we have our fruit leather. Now what we're going to do with this is we're just going to come along with some kitchen scissors, and we're going to go about 1 inch deep. And we're just going to cut anyway, all the way down, cut off the crispier ends if you have crispier ends, because it wasn't it was thinner there. You roll it up, and when you're done, you've got a fruit roll up, and it peels right off the parchment paper, just like a fruit roll up. Nice healthy snack. It's fun to make, takes up the oven for a while, but way better than any of the stuff you buy in the store. This is just strawberries, so really tasty treat. I hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Have a great week. Bye.